Hammerheads, thanks for tuning in. Oh God, I'm 45 and 1 day old. Oh, God almighty. Hey, I'll tell you what, right? You know what? I haven't done a film review for a while, have I? I promised you ages ago I'd do one a week, but sort of neglected that idea lately. But anyway, I'll do one tonight for you, right? This one's a horror film, well, if you can call it a bloody horror film. It's a comedy in my eyes. So one of them typical video nasties, right? From 1980, or is it 81? One of the two. Bunch of campers. They all get chopped up. You know the kind I mean. There's bloody millions of films like that in the 80s, wasn't there? Late 70s, early 80s, and they all got banned in 1984. Thanks to fucking the Daily Mail and all them idiots. White House and friggin' Leon Britton and friggin' Thatcher's puppets. And this got banned. I can't tell whether it's a spoof, a black comedy or what, but I tell you what, this is on YouTube. Check it out. You're bound to be laughing your fucking tits off at it. Don't Go in the Woods. It's a different title. It's normally called Don't Go in the Woods Alone. And basically, right, there's 4 campers go camping on this big mountain. There's millions of other campers, coincidentally, camping there at the same time. Separate groups of people all over the place. It's a big mountain, you know what I mean? And this bloke is going around chopping people up with a machete. He's dressed all in fur. He looks like fucking Catweasel. He doesn't look scary, he just looks silly. If I seen him coming towards me with a machete dressed like that, I'd fucking laugh at him and tell him to fuck off. That's what I would do. But here's a tagline, right? Everyone has nightmares about the ugliest way to die. Ugliest way to die. They just get chopped up, that's all. Read the synopsis on the back of here, right? It's bound to be shit, the O's are, aren't they? Sheer horror and sublime suspense combine in this horrifying tale of the late fate of 4 young campers out for a relaxing weekend in the wilderness. Craig, Peter, Ingrid and Joni set out on their carefree journey to the light of day. By the light of day. I can't even read this fucking thing. But as the forest becomes denser, darkness closes in around them. They begin to realise they are lost when suddenly a form rushes from the trees. A machete glints in the failing light. And Craig falls dead. The others flee in panic and spend a horrifying night running and hiding from the bloodthirsty, manacled killer. But it is Peter who suffers the most, protecting the women. He has witnessed the most blood-splattering rampage you could ever imagine, and soon he is like an animal himself, loose on a mindless hunt for revenge, a terrifying spectacle that will teach you an important lesson in survival. Don't go in the woods. For God's sake, how many friggin' video nasties back then were called Don't Do This? Don't go in the house. Don't go in the woods. You know, don't go to the shop for a loaf of fucking bread and a pint of milk. And they got banned by the titles alone, I think. I mean, there's one bit, this is fucking this sheriff playing golf in his office. Stupid subplot. He tries to investigate, well, you know, he's just a fat, incompetent sheriff. Probably called Herb or something, or fucking Larry, you know what I mean, or Hank. And like, you know, and these fucking banned video nasties as well, there's always always somebody in a fucking wheelchair, isn't there? Well, there's a man in this, in a wheelchair, all by himself, all alone, in the middle of the wilderness, on this fucking mountain. Why? You know? And the camera keeps going back to him with this stupid arty-farty synthesizer music. And it's really irritating. Some idiot sitting there with a cheap and nasty Casio keyboard, isn't it? And the camera keeps going to him. And he's like trying his best to get up this big hill on this mountain. He's like wheeling himself up the wheelchair. He's like tumbles all the way back down again. And he's like and then it goes back onto someone else. Then it goes back to him. And he's trying to get up this hill again. By this time, the sun's setting. And he finally makes it to the top of this slope. And he's just sitting there, catching his breath, without warning, from out of nowhere, behind him. You just see this hand with a machete chop his head off. Him, his head and the chair tumble all the way back down this hill again. So it was all for fucking nothing, wasn't it? God. I'll read. It was directed by Brains Giant, James Bryan. What's the matter with my voice? Writer got. You don't want to know. You've probably never heard of any of them anyway. Starring Jack McClellan, Mary Gale Arts, Angie Brown, Ken Carter, David Barth, Larry Roop, Amy I've never heard of any of them, you know. It's probably the only fucking film they've ever been in. I mean, it's entertaining if you've got nothing better to do for about 85 minutes. It's on YouTube, check it out. You will be laughing your head off, I'm telling you now. Don't go in the woods. God. See you later, hammerheads. Don't go in the woods. My ass.